innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities. This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Let's be real. You work. You worry. You wait. You wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. They're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
Times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out Team Apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers!
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Let's be real. You work. You worry. You wait. You wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. We're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank and Trust. Real banking, real easy. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
In time.
Good afternoon and welcome to Veteran Sports Complex as we get you set for an afternoon of high school playoff soccer when you move on to the semifinals this Saturday and then lose. Of course, it's elimination. Today's matchup features the 4 seed, the Vermillion Tanagers, taking on the 5 seed, St. Thomas More Cavaliers. Great to have you along here on Vermillion Tanagers Live. I'm Heath Nimke along with our producer, Cole Large. It has been now what is considered a wet afternoon as the rain showers have moved through. Not heavy so far, but just a light shower that we have seen kind of earlier this afternoon that have continued on yet so far throughout the rest of the afternoon. And looking into the early evening, we could still be seeing this rain. However, there will nothing be severe, no lightning, no nothing to worry about on that side of things. So ultimately, it's just going to make for a wet afternoon of soccer as St. Thomas More has made the trip all the way to Vermillion, a trip that they could be seeing a second time coming up in less than a week's time, as St. Thomas More boys are playing in first round action as well. They're trying to punch their ticket right back here to Vermillion on that boys side, as I mentioned, to take on the Vermillion boys, who got themselves a first round bye after they found a victory this past Saturday against the T Area Titans, winning 1-0. Also, as you're listening out there on Vermillion Tanagers Live, I do want to give you an update. We do have our mind and eyes also set right now on what is happening up in Aberdeen, as currently it looks like the Vermillion boys as a team are going to bring home a state title in golf. As individuals, they have fallen off just a little bit from the lead, but as a team right now, well than 20 strokes ahead of second place. So it looks like Vermillion is going to be bringing home at least a state title. Things have not gone final yet up in Aberdeen, but they are on the final 2 holes, and unless a catastrophe happens, it looks like Vermillion will bring home that state title. An early shot by Megan Brady is saved. Now, Megan had herself a hat trick just the other day against Dakota Valley to wrap up their season. That was a comeback victory as well for the Vermillion Tanagers. We'll break down more of this Class A bracket here in just a little bit. We'll also get to our starting lineups here in just a moment as well. As again, great to have you along on Vermillion Tanagers Live, as so far we have seen back and forth action for both the Cavaliers and for the Vermillion Tanagers. Of course, the Tanagers in their home red uniforms, all in red, whereas the St. Thomas More Cavaliers in their all-white uniforms with numbers and letters that are in blue. Also, a good crowd with a majority of everyone bringing umbrellas to stay as dry as possible from the rain. A little bit more Tanager fans than St. Thomas More, but the Cavaliers have traveled here nicely, as we mentioned. Could see that opportunity coming up here a little bit later on this Saturday for the Cavaliers to get back here as well. Vermillion currently has it just above the 18-yard box as this one comes in. Shot that was right to the goalkeeper and saved, and here come St. Thomas More as they try to find a little bit of space. Cut off by the Tanagers, but a quick possession given right back to the Cavaliers as they come the opposite way once again. For the Vermillion Tanagers, it is the usual starting 11 that they have, including Brady Johnson, along with Taylor Roovers, Warren Christensen Chauncey, Mockler Bingen, Yerke, and both Cleveland girls, including Chandler Cleveland, back in goal this evening for the Tanagers. And their shot comes in. It goes off the fingertips. There's Brady. Puts it back. It was a cross in from Warren. It was bobbled by the goalkeeper, Claire Wonrowski, and then put back by Brady. And the Vermillion Tanagers score quickly here, already in to the 4th minute. They lead it 1-0. Brady picks up right where she left off the other evening against the Dakota Valley Panthers, and Vermillion gets off to a perfect start here in playoff soccer action. What a great opening goal here for the Vermillion Tanagers. And they come quickly once again. Now one cross in the box. Warren can't quite get to it in time. Cavaliers came into this matchup 5-7 overall, a team that did not take a tie during the regular season, whereas the Vermillion girls coming into tonight's action 4-6-1, grabbing that 4 seed again. It is the 4 versus the 5. Certainly will not be Brady's early opening minute goals that would separate us. At least you don't think so. Have a feeling that we're going to be seeing plenty more yet come this evening. And now a ball played over the top, and Brady back on top of it, brings it inside, trying to get some space, puts it there, and it's a shot save by Claire, the goalkeeper, the junior goalkeeper this time, as she was able to get a glove on it. Megan Brady forcing the issue early here in the waning moments of the first half. Again, Vermillion Tanagers quickly lead it 1-0. All played up as Carly Johnson, the senior midfielder, tries to chase it down. She is going to be able to do so. Well, they say a foul instead, so it will bring it back. A delayed whistle that Johnson did not see. Neither did I. But it will be St. Thomas More. Ball as they play it up, trying to find some space in the middle. Mockler just gets the clearance off of her shin guard and goes out of bounds, as both teams are supporting tents over their benches tonight, trying to keep the girls as dry as possible. For the St. Thomas More, Faith Hoffman, Grace Shad, Elia Shear, Claire, as we mentioned, in goal, Lily Shad, Sloan Kessler, Rachel Hyde, Cameron, Brianna Katstein, Lily Wagner, and Macy Steffens, all starting this afternoon for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers, who do come with that mixture of mainly younger players, including plenty of freshmen, sophomores, a few seniors mixed in there as well. Of course, this Vermillion Tanager girls team stacked with plenty of great senior leadership, including the one that has already scored this evening, Megan Brady. So Vermillion off to, again, a great start here as they lead it 1-0 over the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. Not even 10 minutes into the opening moments. Offsides is called. Now there are 4 officials for this evening's action. Of course, there's the 2 that will run across each side for offsides for a majority. Paying attention to that mark. The main official in the middle. Then there's the 4th official that will keep track of subs that come in and out. And unofficially, Vermillion boys are going to win themselves a state title in golf. I say unofficially because the Vermillion boys are finishing up right now holes 17 and 18. But in second place, Aberdeen Roncalli just finished. Chamberlain, Winter Area, Parkston, and Rapid City Christian have yet to finish as they're playing the final few holes, but those teams all towards the bottom of the standings. So unofficially, Vermillion has won themselves a state title in boys golf. Now, it seemed like it was going to be that way for quite some time. Now, Vermillion is still finishing up holes 17 and 18, but right now, 24 strokes ahead of second place. So not completely over with yet, but it looks like Vermillion is going to bring it home here in just moments. Now, as of right now, Trey Hansen is tied for 4th with 5 over, as Keaton Newberg from T area is in 1st, and he's 3 strokes ahead currently of Trey Hansen. St. Thomas More had a shot that went over the crossbar. Really their first great look they've had of this first half. Again, leading it 1-0, the Vermillion Tanagers are, off of a Megan Brady opening goal. And now a slip. Again, talking about wet conditions here at Raleigh French Field. Ball goes out. They say last touch by the Vermillion Tanager. St. Thomas More trying to find some space along the near sideline. Ball takes a deflection off of Johnson, goes out. Now with Vermillion as well, not playing any more JV football games, the lines here at Raleigh French Field have really started to dissipate than what we've seen about halfway through the seasons, where they were very relevant. Could see them nicely, but much different story now. The ball played over the top. Brady trying to get there in time is not going to be able to do so. As the Cavaliers play it all the way back and then look for the clearance as they go through the middle of the pitch. Out to the near sideline, a ball played up. Back there is Mockler to cover. Instead of going back to Cleveland, she decides to just quickly play it out. Cavaliers trying to sort out the offense just outside the 18-yard box, and it goes out of bounds. They say it will be Cavalier ball. Tanager fans didn't like that. They wanted it last off of White. Now a throw in as it goes through the legs of one Cavalier. Cleveland trying to get it back using her speed, able to do so. And here comes Vermillion. It's Cleveland once again, and it's the defense that wasn't back far enough for the Cavaliers, or I should say they were too far up. All of them past the halfway point, and Cleveland in the end can't quite use her state-winning speed to bust by the defenders of the Cavaliers. We'll see a substitution as well, our first substitution of the game. As checking in on that, substitution being made as it will be Taylor Roovers who is into the game. Checking in for Carly Johnson, the senior midfielder. Over on the near side, ball played out but goes beyond the feet of Faith Hoffman, the 7th grade midfielder, playing back in defense right now as it goes back to her off the top of her head. Cavaliers trying to play it out of their own area. Back to the middle, never want to do that. Cleveland has it, but was never able to control the ball. Still trying to play it through the middle are the Cavaliers as they finally clear it up across the halfway line, but back to defense. And once again, as you commonly see with this Vermillion defense, just simply play it out of bounds. Now throw in, trying to use that far sideline. Cavaliers will get it back. Now, last time on the broadcast, we were talking about some soccer and some football going on in London. And I mentioned to you, Cole Larsh, what would have a bigger viewing audience when it came to Sunday morning football between the Vikings and the Saints over in England, or would the Manchester Derby have a much bigger audience? And now ball that's right along the goal line, they do say it crossed and went out. The answer to that is, Cole, I don't actually know the true answer, but I can tell you this much. If you're not a soccer person, the Manchester Derby was not something you wanted to watch. It was bad. It was really, really bad. Manchester's...
Yeah, I would have guessed the NFL game, but since you don't know the totals, I guess I'm just going to have to take your word for it.
Well, let's put it this way. Manchester United fans who are playing Manchester City at halftime, the fans that were within the stadium, were already leaving.
Oh, yeah, well, and yeah, that probably wasn't a very good game, especially if you were a non-soccer fan to watch.
It was not a good game whatsoever. Now, if you're a Manchester City fan, you were absolutely loving it. 2 different hat tricks in that game, actually. Manchester City absolutely blew out Manchester United. So, yeah, I would definitely say football won that past week. Brady, she shoots another one, and this one bobbled once again by the goalkeeper, Claire, but finally hugged in. Again, it was Megan Brady's early goal in the 4th minute that made it 1-0, still standing at that mark. Here in the quarterfinals, just past 10 minutes old here in the first half. Now another attempt played in middle, cleared out this time by a risky move of the freshman Matty Yerke. Kind of played that back towards center, but no one there for the Cavaliers to capitalize. Vermillion right now defending nicely as a team, but can't ultimately clear it out. And finally this time, Chauncey is able to do so up the near sideline, eventually going out. Last touch by the Cavaliers. Another quick substitution. Speaking of, Grace Chauncey will come out, and Madigan Wallen, the sophomore, will come in. Again, if you're just tuning in, trying to get that final update when it comes to golf for Vermillion boys, as unofficially they are going to win it again. Second place Aberdeen Christian, that is, already wrapped up, who was in second place. And again, they were 24 strokes behind Aberdeen Roncalli. I apologize.
I have seen crazier things happen.
I mean, you would have to have a meltdown from one of the best golfers. You would have to say Trey Hansen would have to, I don't even know what, 13, 14 over par on 18, and he'd still have to go another 10 over par on hole 17.
Hey, been there, done that.
Completely throw Vermillion off.
I wasn't the best golfer in the state, but been there, done that.
And actually, going off that, he just wrapped up. He actually moved up one spot. He's now officially in fourth as an individual. And I feel like actually going across, final scores are almost in. There are currently 6 golfers that are still out there, all at the very, very bottom. So it doesn't even matter.
Done deal.
It's a done deal. It is a done deal. Vermillion, as we mentioned earlier. So it's technically, we still have to call it unofficial because not everyone is completely finished. But as of right now, Keaton Newberg is going to finish at first. Tied for second were Dakota Munger and Trey Evan from Chamberlain and West Central respectively. And Trey Hansen is going to finish fourth. Cooper Gerard will finish tied for ninth. Tied for 12th was Carter Hansen. Tied for 24th was Carson Priester. And then finishing 26th was Cade Roovers. Interesting little side note here in golf action quick. If you were with us on Friday night for Vermillion Tanagers versus Chamberlain, there was a young man that joined me during the broadcast. His name was Dakota Munger. So he just finished second at the state tournament. That was who was with me. So kind of cool to see him helping me out with the broadcast on Friday, and then on Tuesday finishing tied for second. But ultimately, the Vermillion boys have won themselves a state title. So congratulations to Vermillion boys on that golf title. How exciting. They had a great season. The crazy part is no one is a senior on that team. And as I've heard, there's so much great talent yet still coming up that couldn't even participate this year as 6th graders. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's very impressive to get first in state and not have a senior. Trying to remember who won Class B boys over in Rapid City this year. I think there was 2 or 3 seniors on their squad. So that is very impressive.
Yeah. Vermillion with a foul just outside the 18-yard box. The Cleveland on top of it as St. Thomas More tries this up the wall. Cleveland will just swing it into the box. This one, beyond really any heads, there's more play towards the top of the box. Vermillion's going to have to reset. St. Thomas More, though, is going to try to clear as they still have it, finally do so. But there's Matty Yerke to knock it down for Vermillion. By the way, Vermillion Tanagers are going to finish 24 strokes ahead of second place. Again, Trey Hansen finishes in 4th. Cooper Gerard tied for 9th. Carter Hansen tied for 12th. Carson tied for 24th, and Cade finishes 26th. Got to make sure we get that post out there on social media. Doing a little bit of everything right now. There we go. Post it out there on social media.
I think that'll be me when it comes to basketball season, because I still think I have ownership of the two Mount Vernon Plankton basketball Twitter accounts. So well, we'll see how that works.
I'm going to get those up a little bit later. Helping out the Vermillion Booster Club. Appreciate all their support of athletics. In a quick update as well, I know it's not official, again, another unofficial, as they are still doing tennis, but no points can be had as of right now, I believe 5 through 12. So it looks like Vermillion's going to finish in 6th in tennis. That's where they were last night after day 1. I know at one point they did jump as high as up to number 5 in the standings, but looks like they're going to finish out at 6th today at that state tournament. So congratulations to the Vermillion girls on finishing 6th at the state tournament. Another extremely young team. Back into soccer action, as it's been kind of back and forth here the last 6 or 7 minutes. Vermillion really having a couple different opportunities. Yes, by the way, you are on for later if that's going to be your question. Was that going to... Oh, okay. The coach, Jody Zeller, joins us. Do you need a chair? Are you sure? Here, use my chair. Here, use mine. Use mine. Here, you use.
Oh, you could steal mine.
Yeah,
I'm standing.
Here, use mine. Mine's got a cushion there. I need a stand as well. Vermillion will have it. Throw in, far side. Again, leading it 1-0 as we get close to approaching the halfway mark of the first half. As of right now, Vermillion has it just outside the 18-yard box. But again, congratulations to Vermillion boys and the girls tennis. Thank you as well to all the St. Thomas More fans tuning into the broadcast here this afternoon. Again, St. Thomas More has had to come a long way. Good chance the Cavaliers could be back here for boys soccer as well. A shot that comes in that goes just a little high of the crossbar. With a few different angles working from producer Cole Larsha as well. Don't forget, live ticket TV fans of Vermillion, the action also continues this evening as we'll wrap up our broadcast tonight, and then we will have coming up varsity volleyball action. So make sure you're aware of that. Again, that's coming up as Del Rapids is taking on the Vermillion Tanagers. They are currently in C action. Cole, do you have camera action of that going on in the gym as well?
Well, give me a chance here, and I'll see if I can get something going.
Start to pull up a whole bunch of different camera angles of all the action that's going on. Just past the halfway mark of this first half, a Megan Brady 4th-minute goal. Roovers gets past her defender, crosses it in, and this one takes a bounce to the bottom back corner. There to try pulling it back home, just knocking it over. It was Taylor Doan. Came quickly up to her chest as she was leaning back, put her boot through the top of it, and not able to finish it off.
Oh, what?
But Vermillion, another great opportunity.
Well, that's not what I want to do, but it works. I've got our 2 soccer camera angles up right now. I wanted to try and get the
third one going there?
Get the volleyball game and the soccer game at the same time, but
kind of 3 different views going on. Roovers once again, another cross in. This one's low. It's lost to the back post. It sneaks all the way through. Nobody there to knock it home. They do indicate that it's a corner kick. So Vermillion will have a corner kick with 2 opportunities here in the past minute for the Vermillion Tanagers, not either to snuggle either one home. Brady to take the cross. This one's right to the near post. It's being balled around. Was it caught by bodies there? It looked like 2-3 bodies had kind of just caught it suspended in the air. And of course, just because it comes to the body, and if your hands are staying in a natural position, that won't be called a handball on either team. ultimately the ball went out for a goal kick. Another shot comes in. Brady, this time again leaning back. Comes off of her foot. Continued the trail off to the right side. Just as you'd hear Coach Zeller say in volleyball, same works as soccer. Leaning back, it's always going to go up in the air. 1-0. Vermillion Tanagers lead it over St. Thomas More. Vermillion. Far sideline throw in. Again, the matchup here, the playoffs, with the 4-5 seeds. 3-6 as well. Their shot comes in. This one low goes into the netting. That game coming up, 3-6, is at 6 o'clock. Again, a couple different reasons why we're playing at 4 o'clock. The main reason happens to be, though, because of the lights here at Raleigh French Field. There are no lights, so you have to play during the day. But also a good time to, get these girls here. They've already missed a full day of school, but also still get them back on the road at a decent time. By the way, this is playoff soccer, so throw out the scenario as well. If we are at a tie, of course, does it in a draw, we would play 2 10-minute halves, and if we're still tied, we'd have ourselves a penalty shootout. Brady tried to get one under control, went off the shin guard and into the hands of Claire, the goalkeeper. Vermillion, though, continues to force the issue as they try to play it up through the middle. Along that far side, no is the answer. St. Thomas More has not subbed yet.
I believe no is the answer to that question, but
at least not that I can think of anyone coming in. Controlled with the Tanagers as they look for the cross on that far side. Ball played over the top. Vermillion up in defense. Two different girls run into each other, but again, no foul called, as that time Mockler got a little bit of the ball first before making the body contact. Or do the officials? The officials aren't going to call a foul there. Wow.
I believe they did call it.
Wow. It looked like she got a little bit of the ball first before the body contact. But the official sees it differently. Foul called, ball played in. Ultimately, St. Thomas More not able to do anything with it. By the way, talking more about the Class A bracket, we'll break that down here in just a moment for you. See what St. Thomas More can work. Cleveland, wowzers, just messed around with that, and then a foul in the end called. Wow. Now, I'm not quite for sure what you called a foul on that for. Cleveland just kind of let that bounce a few times. She was looking for that famous kickball kick where you let it bounce perfectly, just boot it out of there. But ultimately, a foul called. Now Vermillion comes opposite way. It's Warren, gets a look at goal, puts in, saved by Claire as it went through her foot. Makes the left-footed save. And not able to get all the way across the line. Warren had a great look at it, went through the feet of Claire as she got the save. Brady tried to rush up on it to put it back in the net, but Claire was able to get back on top of it in time. And Vermillion still leads it 1-0, but certainly have had the better chances. And now a ball that is played over the top. Cleveland can't handle it with their gloves and goes out of bounds, so now it's going to be a corner kick. And yes, speaking of those goalie gloves, depending on how much they've been used throughout a year, will lose a lot of the stickiness that they do have to them. They're not maybe like the traditional football gloves that you see for wide receivers. They do have kind of that stickiness, then soft padding. And ball played over the top, and this one finds the back of the net. This one knocked home by St. Thomas More, as that one is Sloan Kessler who's able to put it in the back of the net. It was bounced around a couple times right in front of Cleveland, And eventually, Sloan Kessler is able to knock it in for a goal. And St. Thomas More has tied it up against the run of play 1-1 here in this first half. And it all comes back to Cleveland. A simple ball played over the top, a simple grab that eventually led to a corner. And Vermillion ultimately pays the price for it. Brady, though, using her speed back the opposite way. Inside the 18-yard box, Megan Brady pulls it back, shoots, scores! Answer right back. 22 seconds later, Vermillion takes their lead back 2-1 here in this first half. Right off the kickoff, Vermillion quickly moves down the field, and they lead it once again, 2-1. That is a quick response by the Tanagers, 22 seconds apart from the St. Thomas More goal, all within the same minute. And again, we are back to a lead for the Vermillion Tanagers, 2-1. Well, I mentioned we would see more goals, but I didn't think it would be that quickly.
Yeah, that was a crazy series of events. I had just put the score on the scoreboard, and I looked up and there was another one scored.
Warren trying to look for the cross in. It's a low one. Claire just tries to kick it out. St. Thomas More still has an 18-yard box, given up, and finally cleared out by the Cavaliers. At least trying to. Cleveland gets it back, though, for the Vermillion Tanagers. And now it's Taylor, cleared out along the far side, 2-1. Vermillion leads it over the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. Well, in all my time of playing soccer there, Cole, I don't know if we've had quick responses before, but I don't know within 22 seconds of a goal I've ever seen someone score that quickly.
The only thing I can think of that is even similar to that is maybe in basketball, you shoot a big three, and by the time you're done celebrating, the other team's already down having the ball on your side. And that's, other than that, I don't know what else to compare it to.
Back-to-back kickoff returns?
Yeah, I guess that is true, too.
That's the one I could compare. Now, I have seen goals scored quicker than that in high school soccer, but it has been for the same team.
Yeah.
I've seen where someone scores, they kick off a quick possession given up, and someone just takes a wild shot and scores. I have seen someone score within 10 seconds. But that would be, you kind of compare that to maybe Vermillion boys playing against Dakota Valley. Make that kind of a comparison. A team that's well established compared to a team their first year just trying to feel it out. And that's in the final moments of the game where this is already over with. But in a playoff game like this, a response back in 22 seconds, Vermillion takes back their lead, making it 2-1. Never seen something quite like that. That was exciting.
Yeah.
That was exciting. And they say soccer is a boring game.
Like I said when I texted you, I said there's something about playoffs. It doesn't matter what sport, but it is always more entertaining and more energetic, it feels like, than regular season games.
You can certainly get up for some playoff soccer. I never really got to take a look at my bracket because of those quick goals. We still have to recap what we've seen in Class A. Warren will have it right at the touchline. It goes out, and wow. A goal kick is called for. And we're going to see a substitution as well as Taylor Doan is back in. And Carly Johnson is out. Don't want to say the official is wrong, but that certainly did not look like it was a goal kick. Should have been a corner kick for the Vermillion Tanagers. Well, nonetheless, Cavaliers try to play it out of their own end. Have it along the far sidelines. They're able to do so. Continuing that press. This one's up, and ultimately an offsides is called. When the ball was played, Cavaliers were just a foot off, even though the Tanagers defense was able to get back behind. Seeing things blow up on social media right now. Once again, congratulations to the Vermillion boys on their state title. 24 strokes, finishing ahead of Aberdeen Roncalli. Ultimately, no one able to finish with top honors. Hanson, though, finishes in 4th. So congratulations to the Vermillion boys. Again, the tennis team, still unofficially, but it is official. They will finish in 6th. But things have not gone completely final for tennis yet, as they are wrapping up doubles flight action with all championship games that are currently ongoing. Trying to play it up. Doan, not quite the speed there, but she is kind of putting that pressure on Lily as she plays it back to the goalkeeper, Claire. Claire trying to play it out once again. Brady, though, is just going to get to it, take the quick shot. Good idea there by Mrs. Hat Trick, but not able to quite put it in the right spot. Not able to get this one in the air either.
I just realized I had the score wrong on my scoreboard.
Uh-oh. St. Thomas More, quickly the opposite way. Trying to get something in the middle. Played out by the defense of Vermillion. Did you give the goal to St. Thomas More?
I did.
Uh-oh.
It happened so fast, I just wasn't ready for it, I guess.
I guess I don't have YouTube pulled up, but I can almost guarantee you got some comments left about you.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time.
Won't be the last either, right?
Right.
Taylor with a quick steal for the Vermillion Tanagers. Vermillion trying to find that space, cut off quickly. Under 10 minutes left here to go in this first half. Brady, another cross in that goes all the way through. Chauncey and Warren all kind of looked at each other thinking the other one was going to get it. Ultimately, Vermillion lets it run by, and it's played out. And it will be a throw-in along the near side. Here comes St. Thomas More. Quickly the opposite way, 2-1. Trying to play it up. What was the question? Are we doing a pregame show for volleyball? Oh.
Depends on what time you get up there, right?
Yeah, it all depends on. We got to figure out what we're doing for soccer as well. That being said, we will keep you up to date on what does happen for soccer, because as of right now, the way things are looking is going to put us in two awkward spots of how we have coverage for Saturday's action if results hold as of right now. Warren over in the near corner, played out, and it will now be a Vermillion throw-in. Again, the Tanagers lead it 2-1 here in the first half over the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. Ball played up, bobbled in between two girls. Tanager fans want a hands ball, not going to get it. Played up once again. Rivers, the 7th grader, tries to find her way around, and ball is going to be knocked out, and it will stay with the Tanagers along the near side. Brady once again, just inside the 18-yard box, trying to clear out. Cleveland will take the shot, and Cleveland will put it in the side netting. Can't quite finish it off. As we approach the 36th minute, Vermillion leads it 2-1 over the Vermillion Tanagers. This one, throw in to Chauncey. Ball knocked out. Once again, stays with Vermillion. Again, you look at the goal for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. Kind of came against the run of play. They just played the ball over the top, went through the gloves of Cleveland, gave up a corner kick, and ultimately St. Thomas More was able to capitalize off of it. Otherwise, they've had a few opportunities, but none really here in the closing moments yet of this first half. Ball trying to be played up, but it's going to hit off the back of one. Here comes Vermillion the opposite way. It's Macy Steffens, though, the senior attacker, that took it off the back and gave it back to the Vermillion Tanagers. Here comes Vermillion once again with a throw-in on this near side. It's Yerke to throw it in. Ball played up, and it's going to be knocked out, so we'll stay with the Vermillion Tanagers. Doan to throw in. Doan throws into Chauncey, but goes over the head now to Warren. Warren looks for the cross. St. Thomas More to cut it off and clear it out. Another throw in for Vermillion. 3:37 remaining here in this first half. Throw in once again over the head of Grace Chauncey. Cavaliers trying to clear. So they continue to play with it. In the back third. Cross to the middle. Going to be picked up by Brianna. Opposite way, here come the Tanagers once again. Brady's able to knock it past Claire and put it home. It was played up beautifully there by the Tanagers. And then Megan Brady made a one move to get past Claire, the goalkeeper, and found herself with a wide open net and left no doubt she adds her second of the evening. And now Vermillion leads it 3-1 here in the first half. Coming in the final moments of this first half, Vermillion in the first round, quarterfinals of the playoffs, now lead it 3-1 over St. Thomas More. Ball played up this time. Cleveland's going to get a hold of it. So Vermillion, not necessarily wanting to park the bus here yet. Still have a whole entire second half to go. But I have to feel comfortable with Coach Thomas and where her girls are at after half number one. Again, don't forget, coming up here on Live Ticket TV, we will have more action coming up for sports tonight, including varsity volleyball action. As Vermillion Tanagers take on Del Rapids. Right now, it's trying to be cleared out. Nope. It will be right now with the St. Thomas More Cavaliers, as it was last touched by Taylor Roovers there along the far side. Ball played back. Vermillion's just going to clear it out on that far side. That was Sydney Christensen there who cleared out. The final 2 minutes here of this first half. Again, Vermillion leads it 3-1. The Cavaliers were able to tie it up. Vermillion responded back 22 seconds later to take the lead back to 2-1. And now a Brady second goal here in the final moments of this first half makes it 3-1. Here comes Cleveland. Space cut off for just a moment. Played it back to Taylor. Taylor was never able to get control of it. And it will be with St. Thomas More trying to find some space along the far sideline. Ball playing ping pong right now, back and forth. Brady knocks it up but clears it out. Again, 3-1. Final 60 seconds. Vermillion trying to make it a great Tuesday right now. Already state titles coming home with the boys team. Trying to punch on their ticket to the semifinals in girls soccer action where the boys are already waiting at the moment. They were able to grab the 2 seed. Of course, the first 2 seeds, or I should say the top 2 seeds, 1 and 2, grab a first round bye and don't play until Saturday. And then 3 through 6 have to play today. St. Thomas More here in the final moments. Ball played over the top. This one shot clear, though, with a great save. As having a great opportunity there was Wallen. All cleared out. Final 8 seconds. St. Thomas More trying to get one last good look. Steffens has her space cut off. Ball cleared out. And there it is. That is the first half whistle. As Vermillion made it a quick 1-0 lead over St. Thomas More. A defensive miscue by Chandler Cleveland led to a corner kick. St. Thomas able to tie it up at 1-1 apiece. 22 seconds later, another goal answered back. And Megan Brady, in the final closing minutes of this first half, was able to get her second. And that's how the Vermillion Tanagers lead it 3-1 over the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. We're going to step aside. We'll have more coming up here at halftime on Live Ticket TV.
Times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities. This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Let's be real. You work. You worry. You wait. You wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. They're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy.
Farmers know crop insurance is essential for managing risk. It's also valuable for maximizing revenue. The crop insurance officers at Farm Credit Services of America have proprietary tools and expertise to deliver the personalized crop and revenue protection you need for the peace of mind you want. Nobody delivers crop insurance like this. Discover the difference by calling 800-884-FARM. Agriculture works here.
French Field as we're at halftime here in the quarterfinals of the Class A state tournament for girls soccer. Right now, the Vermillion Tanagers lead it over the St. Thomas More Cavaliers by a score of 3-1. Great to have you back here on Vermillion Tanagers Live, along with Live Ticket TV. As again, if you're just tuning in, a recap from what we saw earlier, not in this game here, we'll get to that in just a moment, but in other action, once again, congratulations to the Vermillion boys as they are your 2022 Class A state titles in golf action as they win it by a total of 24 strokes ahead of Aberdeen Roncalli. On the individual side, Trey Hansen finished in 4th. Cooper Gerard finished tied for 9th. Carter Hansen finished tied for 12th. Carson Priester finished tied for 24th. And Cade Roovers finished tied for 26th. So congratulations to Vermillion on their state title and bringing that home. Also want to give a quick shout out to St. Thomas More Cavaliers on boys golf action as they finished in 6th overall as a team. Inside the top 10 for them, finished tied for 9th, was Vincent Van Laer. So congratulations to St. Thomas More on a great season. But the Vermillion boys, they are bringing home a state title in golf. Very, very exciting to see what they were able to accomplish. Well, again, here in action, Vermillion girls lead it 3-1 over the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. We're going to step aside on Live Ticket TV. When we come back, it is time for the second half and a recap of what all happened in the first half. That's on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers!
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Let's be real. You work, you worry, you wait, you wonder. These are the challenges of life on the farm. As a community bank, First Bank & Trust understands this rural reality. We're big enough to help ag producers grow for the future and small enough to get to know you right now. Our ag bankers have ag backgrounds, which means we'll help you work through the tough years and make the most of the great ones. First Bank & Trust. Real banking, real easy. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
With goals in the third, 28th minute, with a goal for St. Thomas More and Vermillion in that 28th minute. Only 37th minute, Vermillion leads it 3-1 over St. Thomas More as we are getting set and ready to go for the second half. We're going to break down a little bit more of this bracket as we really haven't got a whole lot yet to that. Now, again, one other game that is coming up this evening. That is coming up at 7 o'clock. The 3-seed Sioux Falls Christian will take on the 6-seed Dakota Valley. Now, that, again, is set to happen later on this evening. Again, talk about a few different reasons why this game playing at 4 today. Of course, you have to say the lights. No lights here at Raleigh French Field, so you have to play it before it gets dark. And, of course, St. Thomas More making the trip across the state, might as well play it a whole lot sooner than later. Get them home still at a decent time yet this evening. So we get the final things checked off the list, including goalkeeper check. That is accomplished, and we are set and ready to go for the second half. Here are the quarterfinals between the Vermillion Tanagers and the St. Thomas More Cavaliers, as Vermillion, with a 2-goal lead, certainly is not going to park the bus and just stay comfortable with trying to get the victory. I want to add maybe a couple more here early in this second half and leave no doubt. As Vermillion has surrendered up 2-goal leads a couple different times this season. If you could add a third, you'd feel even more comfortable of where you are at if you're the Vermillion Tanagers. For St. Thomas More, that's kind of what it is all about. Try to find one more. Give momentum to your side. Now, ball that goes out of bounds, an early corner kick for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers, as they'll have it over in the near corner. Again, for both teams, they switch those sides as well. The Cavaliers will be attacking the south goal now, whereas the Vermillion Tanagers attacking the north goal. Megan Brady has 2 goals in that first half. Corner nicely placed in, but Cleveland all over it to get the save comfortably into her gloves. 3-1. Vermillion again leads it by 2 goals. So again, later action, number 3 seed Sioux Falls Christian takes on the 6 seed Dakota Valley, coming up at 7 o'clock. That's up in Sioux Falls. West Central was the one that got the number 1 seed in T area. The Lady Titans got the 2 seed. Now, as we've last heard, it'll be 11 o'clock on Saturday if the Vermillion Tanagers hold on to play West Central up in Hartford, South Dakota. St. Thomas More quickly coming the opposite way once again, looking for the cross, able to do so, trying to clear it out. Oh, they're going to say it is a goal kick. The ball did go across the touchline, so out and goal kick for the Vermillion Tanagers. Again, West Central, T area, able to get that first round bye. Now, of course, in other girls' action, there's plenty more going on as well. This is not the only action that's currently ongoing. There's actually one other one. As in AA, they have 16 teams that play. 1 through 16 make it in with what? Is it 2 or is it 3? 2, 3. 2, 3. I can't remember. 2 teams that don't make it in out of AA. There's 18 teams. Only 2 don't make it in the postseason.
You've got the bracket.
I know. I got the bracket. Well, I got the bracket in front of me. I don't have all the teams though.
I think you can.
Can I?
Yeah.
It took me one click. Oh, there is 19. I forgot Douglas, Rapid City, Christian, New Under one. See, I thought they might have been an A team. I couldn't remember. So 3 teams don't make it in AA. Here comes Vermillion with Warren inside the box. Has it scooped away from her or knocked out of bounds. It will be a corner kick. But the other game that's currently ongoing right now out at Howard Wood Field, Sioux Falls Lincoln leads it over Sturgis Brown 2-0 as they start the second half there. That again is the 2 seed taking on the 15 seed. Otherwise, the majority of the games are just underway or yet to come up this evening. Corner kick for Brady goes over the top of Claire, the goalkeeper's head. Took a deflection there by the St. Thomas More as they try to clear it out. Vermillion, once they come back inside the box, along the far side, crossed in, goes to Taylor Roofers, and a deflection carries it out of bounds. They say last touch, though, by Vermillion, so it will be a goal kick. Another action coming up in Class AA. Number 1, Harrisburg takes on number 16, Yankton. That comes up at 7 o'clock this evening. Just underway at PILC Soccer Complex, the 8th seed Pierre takes on number 9, Mitchell. Again, that one's underway, no score update. Out at Yankton Trail Park, of course, up in Sioux Falls, number 4, Sioux Falls Roosevelt takes on number 13, Sioux Falls O'Gorman. That one is happening at 6 o'clock, which I don't know why they're not playing that at Howard Wood either. Also another action, Brandon Valley, the 5 seed takes on number 12, Rapid City Central. That one is just kicking off. Rapid City Stevens takes on Watertown. Stevens, the 7 seed. Number 3, Aberdeen Central take on number 14, Brookings. That one kicks off at 6 o'clock up in Aberdeen. And number 6, Sioux Falls Jefferson takes on number 11, Spearfish. That one is underway as well. No score update. That one being played at Sioux Falls Jefferson High School. Here, say that again.
Drove by that high school the other day. Well, I guess. What day was that? Holy cow, now I don't remember.
Saturday?
Sunday, I bet. Sunday, I bet it was. Don't know why, don't know how, but drove past that. Holy cow, that high school is massive.
I heard it's more like a campus.
Oh, yes. It is.
So maybe the traditional
Huge.
high school style. It's more like a college campus is what I've heard.
I don't know what it is, but it's large.
Good for Sioux Falls, though.
Oh, absolutely. I was just amazed at how big it was. I knew it was big, but...
Another substitution. See, that's one thing I didn't necessarily probably understand. Is they built this, the football complex. I get why they do it for JV and purposes, whatnot. But man, oh man, like we have Howard Wood. We had the facilities already. They use Howard Wood every single week, so... Jeepers creepers. Well, I can't complain. I guess my tax dollars aren't necessarily spent up in Sioux Falls, so... Ball played in. Cleveland get on top of it. Did? Ball played over the top as Vermillion tries to get back to it. Speaking of, I should probably not break down the girls' bracket. I should probably break down the boys' side of things, as there's also plenty of boys' action going on for soccer. Again, all quarterfinals happening today. I should say first round and quarterfinals, as the AA teams aren't quite at that quarterfinal spot. It is a throw-in for St. Thomas More.
You think they call the round of 16 the Sodax 16 as well?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know if they do in soccer or not.
I think they should just call everything the Sweet 16.
Well, you can't do that. You're going to get us in trouble as well. You keep saying that. Actually, you could say that because we are a streaming entity and FCC does not have regulations over us.
Exactly.
So you could. So to go off that, if you would drop a cuss bomb, which I appreciate if you did not do that.
Well, I don't plan on it, but...
You could also get away with that.
I think the more likely one of us is you.
Oh, wow.
Because you do more of the talking.
That is very true. I do, of course, have a little bit of a potty mouth. If anyone knows me, knows I certainly have a potty mouth. I will never hide that.
Oh, yeah, me too.
A ball played over the top. Brady is going to use her speed to get by the defender. Megan Brady with the hat trick. Saved by Claire. Cleared out by the Cavaliers. Megan Brady was looking for back-to-back hat tricks, but was not able to finish it off. She can't believe it. Again, Vermillion is trying to put this one away. Vermillion, the handball called against the Tanagers. Committing the crime that time was Wallen, the sophomore, close to the halfway line. 3-1, not quite 10 minutes old into the second half. St. Thomas More, they need an opportunity. Vermillion defending beautifully with their back line so far. The Cavaliers have kind of opened it up, though, a little bit more. Top of the 18-yard box trying to be played out. This one just played across. Cavaliers come once again, played through the middle. Vermillion tries to play it out instead of just clearing it out. Shot comes in. This will go into the side netting, and it will be a goal kick. One thing that I do really suck at, Cole, is I will be the first person to admit I'm not a good multitasker. So sometimes I struggle to click on things.
There's no such thing as multitasking.
Oh,
exactly.
Gosh. See, look at you guys get all grumpy.
My high school science teacher told us that probably 10 times a day. That's because half my class is sitting there on their phone. They're like, I'm multitasking, doing my work. And he's like, that's not possible.
My high school teacher would just let me play on my phone.
Well, depending on who it was, he let you play on your phone. Like, if he knew that you were going to do your work.
See, I feel like I'm multitasking too, because right now, exactly, like I'm calling a game, but yet I'm still looking at information in front of my face. I agree with you. I feel as though my brain's just expanded enough. I use 11% of my brain instead of the 10% that God gave me. Throw in. Here's sideline. As once again, Vermillion trying to find the space. Bounce in quickly. Speaking of the St. Thomas More Cavaliers, they are underway now, taking on Freeman Academy in boys action. St. Thomas More, the 3 seed, taking on the 6 seed Freeman Academy. That one just underway. The other one coming up here in an hour's time. T area will take on James Valley Christian. That is the 4-5 matchup. A free kick taken by Brady as she goes for goal. It's saved by Claire. Now when it again comes to boys action, Sioux Falls Christian got the 1 seed. Vermillion got the 2 seed. Vermillion will take on the winner of either St. Thomas More or Freeman Academy. Now, if I heard correctly, if all seeds hold, it would be Vermillion versus St. Thomas More, again, right back here. And that would happen at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Now, would Live Ticket TV have the coverage? Not quite for sure. A shot and a goal. Wow. Over in the near corner, it's Warren who's able to finish it off as Claire went down to block it away. It got through her and into the back of the net, and Vermillion adds another one here. In the 52nd minute, they now lead it 4-1, and Vermillion has that chance now, as we mentioned earlier, just to kind of park the bus and let this one run out of time with a victory. Again, leading it 4-1 over St. Thomas More. We do have more action as well coming up here on Live Ticket TV, as it will be Del Rapids. As what Coach Zeller say, as we said, Coach Larsh?
Del Rapids was your sleeper team, right?
Sleeper team, right?
Yeah.
Sleeper team. Now, what was it? I saw something weird. Coach Zeller, correct me. What did Canton do? Are they inside the top 5 according to the coaches poll? And what? It was the first time they believe in 33 years or something? I believe they said, and they said 33 years. And I don't even know if the polls, if they've been doing polls for that long. I mean, I think they have, but I know they've changed over time. But that's still crazy.
Well, I'll tell you this, when I was in high school.
Was Canton, okay. Not calling you old by any means, Coach Zeller, but but I know it's been a year or two since you were out of high school. Oh, can't take that phone call. I am currently in the middle of a broadcast. Well, I'm going to have to answer that one a little bit later on. Wow. Like I said, I won't age you at all. But you can catch varsity volleyball action coming up later on. As again, they'll be taking on Del Rapids. We'll have all the action right here on Live Ticket TV. 4-1 as we approach the halfway mark of the second half. 60th minute. Vermillion with Roovers once again trying to cross this one in, and they say it did go out, be a goal kick. Well, talking about soccer action, we're taking a look at brackets. We just broke down the single A side. Do I have a voicemail now? Looks like I do have a voicemail. Looks like I'm in trouble. On the double A side, Huron got the 1 seed overall. The 2 seed went to Sioux Falls O'Gorman. No current score updates all the way across the brackets. But Vermillion with Warren once again. She'll take the shot, takes a deflection. Vermillion still trying to force the issue here. This one finally played out by the Cavaliers. Up along the near side. Vermillion with the quick throw in. Played back by St. Thomas More. Now play along the far side. Coming in. Cross for the Cavaliers, but their claim once again is Cleveland. She has been active on the crosses and getting her mitts to it tonight. Well, again, back in Double-A, breaking down the bracket, number 1, Huron takes on Brandon Valley, coming up here in about an hour's time. Spearfish in Yankton, the 8-9. That gets underway here at 7 o'clock this evening, our time, 6 o'clock Mountain Time. Sioux Falls Lincoln takes on number 13 Brookings. That's at 7 o'clock this evening, Howard Wood. Watertown and Rapid City Central, as that one is just underway in boys action. Also just underway in boys action, Sioux Falls O'Gorman, 2 seed, takes on number 15 seed Sturgis Brown. No score update, but into the second half, Aberdeen Central playing against Sioux Falls Washington, the 7-10. Again, this is the boys bracket. Number 3, Sioux Falls Jefferson takes on number 14 Harrisburg. That's coming up at 7 o'clock this evening. That's out at Sioux Falls Jefferson High School. And then over at the Sioux Park Complex, Rapid City Stevens, the 6 seed takes on the 11 seed Pierre. Again, that comes up at 7:15 our time, 6:15 Mountain Time. Traveling out to the mountains later on this season for Belle-Fourche. In fact, speaking of football action, we'll have coverage coming up as Vermillion Tanagers will be taking on the Canton Seahawks. The following week, that will be, could potentially be all on Cole Larsh. Do a little bit of Friday Night Football. I might be away in Iowa on what could be considered a business trip, but I'm not quite for sure yet. We'll have to find out more information over the next couple of days.
You say for Friday or next Friday?
Next Friday.
Okay.
Vermillion taking on Madison. They won to do it this Friday. That's not going to work. I need a little bit more of a notice than that.
Me too.
I know I have business to take care of. That does not always include sports, but when I have to travel, I do like a little bit of a heads up because I would put you in an awkward spot. And we have guests that are going to be joining us as well coming up on.
I was going to say, considering Friday. I've done my usual amount of homework for the Friday game, which is 0, I would have a lot of homework to do between now and Friday.
You would, including a few interviews to get done. But I have you covered for now. We'll have more details set for next Friday.
Good.
Otherwise, looking forward to this Friday. We'll have special guests joining us as part of the broadcast once again as we have more members. Of course, Canton is also a part of the Live Ticket TV family. Don't forget, if you would like to advertise on Live Ticket TV, you have to get hold of your local rep, and we can make that happen today. As
I know that guy.
You do know that guy. Live Ticket TV covering all Vermillion High School sports, including volleyball, soccer, and plenty more. Football coming up this winter season, basketball, wrestling, gymnastics. During the spring, we'll have softball for you. During the summer, we'll have baseball. Before we'll know it, it'll be time for soccer once again. No rest for the Riri. And by the way, very exciting as we mentioned. I know it's unofficial, or it doesn't count. But cool to see now 2 state titles brought home in the same year for Vermillion. Now again, one technically does not count, as the Legion baseball is Legion. It's not necessarily...
Not sanctioned.
It's not sanctioned, right. But we still look at it that way.
Yeah. Everybody looks at it that way except
Yeah.
for the state, basically.
Yep, exactly. And of course, with Vermillion, we're not a co-op, so we're not sharing it with any other school. So, I mean, when it comes to Vermillion winning the title, these were Vermillion boys. And now ball played over the top, saved. Trying to head it home was Wallen, but that time Claire was able to get her gloves on it and come up with a huge save for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. As Vermillion really hasn't stopped the press yet as they continue to keep it going. Leading it right now 4-1. I want to give a big shout out as well to all of our sponsors that do join us for all the broadcasts here on Live Ticket TV. Getting to work with our member schools, including Dakota Munger and Chamberlain last week. Past Friday, that was exciting except for the end result for the football team. Ball played through the middle. Cleveland, though, comes up quickly to retrieve it. Speaking of the Vermillion football team, if they want to make the playoffs now, which I know has been on a lot of people's minds, kind of have to win out at this point and have some great teams in front of them, and then that last trip out to Belfouche, which we got to figure that out as well. Offsides as the ball is played to Warren off a deflection there, but they do say it was last touched by Vermillion, so it was played to her. So what we're going to go out? Go out on Thursday, call a high school football game, stay overnight, and get us back by Friday?
Well, unless you want to make the 6-hour trek home and about get back here probably 2, 3 in the morning.
It would be more roughly about 4 in the morning. I did it 3 years ago. It is not that entertaining.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
I had to do it, and that was another, I don't want to say business trip, that was more of a personal reason that I had to go home. In fact, I made the trip back here, changed out clothes, then had to go another 3 hours back to Iowa. That made for a long trip, a very, very, very long trip. There was no sleep involved in that. There's a lot of caffeine. If you ever think there's such a thing as too much caffeine, I'm here to tell you there is not. Ball played out. It will be a goal kick off the throw, and again went to no Tanagers. And I can very well speak to that. There's no such thing as too much caffeine. Cole, it would freak out a lot of people to tell you how much caffeine I do consume in a day.
You want to know how much caffeine I consume in a day?
I hope it's at least some. 0? Wow. Well, I certainly make up for you then. How much caffeine do you think I have in a day? Ball played through. This one is still in possession as the Cavaliers try to go up with it. And we're talking, what, milligrams, right?
Well, I don't know. Do you take so much that you measure it in grams?
You could actually say yes. Uh-oh, Cavaliers on top of it. Saved, though, by Cleveland as she was playing up in the 18-yard box. And Macy just a space cut off there. Cleveland standing large in goal, able to get the save. That's kind of scary to say. Yeah, it is measurable in grams, actually.
Well, as long as it's not more than 1 gram, probably you're probably still safe.
It's just over 1 gram. And that's a day. I'm not talking like every once in a while. That's a day. Gotta remember, I start off with at least 600 straight to the noggin in the morning. By 4:10, there's at least 600 milligrams of caffeine pumping through my body.
You probably have to have so much caffeine because you wake up at 3 in the morning.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Sorry, 4.
Nope, just straight scooping it in. I mix it with water. Mix a little bit of water. Yep, and I do recommend only 1 scoop a day. 1 scoop in 24 hours, and I'm defining that in a matter of 10 minutes. I'm over here taking 2. And then somewhere throughout the day, I'll have some kind of caffeinated beverage. At least 200 to 300 there. As Vermillion comes once again. Roofers takes the shot, saved by Claire, right back to the middle, and finally able to get on top of it. Vermillion continues to keep the press going and looking for more. They have opened up themselves a couple different times, but have really played great so far. And now St. Thomas More quickly come the opposite way. Vermillion back with Christensen, then played to Cleveland. Then if I work out in the evening, there's another 200 to 300 again. So yeah, you're looking at close to over 1,000 in a day.
I don't think I've had 1,000 in my life.
Vermillion with the throw-in. And just so we're clear, I sleep like a baby every single night. I get a great sleep every single night. I do not have restless sleeps. I also say that has a lot to do with my bed, too. As right now, it's Taylor. Tries to look for the cross in. Cleared up by the Cavaliers. So we're now under 15 minutes remaining here in the ball game. Ball that somehow finds its way to Megan Brady. She slips now. We had rain earlier in this game, but we haven't seen rain for a good half hour now. Certainly have left the conditions wet. Getting some more fans parking along the far side there at the gate there, just kind of watching this game for free. Might as well take a little bit of advantage of it. Vermillion will get another cross. Right now the Tanagers are going to punch their ticket onto the semifinals here. Cross comes in. This one played to the back post, but goes all the way through. Yeah, get about, roughly what my Fitbit would tell you about, I think it was 5 hours and 2 minutes of sleep. And that was great.
How do you, well, obviously you have 1,000 milligrams of caffeine a day. I was going to ask, how do you function?
And then I stay busy today. I mean, I run around quite a bit today.
If I get anything under 7, I'm a cranky little baby all day.
Good Lord. I couldn't tell you when last I got 7 hours of sleep. Vermillion trying to work something along this near side. Wallen had it there for a moment. Taylor trying to battle strong. Goes out. They say last touched by St. Thomas More. Throw in up along the near sideline. Give him right back to the Tanagers. But stolen back by the Cavaliers. Back and forth it goes. Here comes St. Thomas More. Ball played over the top, but straight into the hands of Cleveland once again. Four to 1 under 15 minutes remaining here in this first half. Speaking of, do have an energy drink. Remind me to grab that before we go into volleyball. You want to know something even worse? The amount of food I'll have today. I won't have much. So that's all that's going through my body is water and caffeine today.
Oh my.
Gotta love it. St. Thomas More will look to play it back through the throw-in. He's trying to battle right now. Vermillion, again with a 3-goal lead. No score updates as of late across the rest of the state of South Dakota as a few games are underway. If you missed out on it earlier, once again, congratulations to the Vermillion boys golf team as they have won themselves a state title. As a team, individually, and a couple guys that were battling for first place, unable to finish off individual honors. But as I was talking to Mr. Huska earlier, always would love to win that team title. You'll take that over an individual title any day of the week.
I saw an interesting set on Twitter about that, and I got to pull it back up. First team title since 2007.
For Vermillion?
Yep.
15 years.
According to SDPB Sports.
That would be, now help me correct us here, when it comes to official school sports, when last did Vermillion win a title? For any sport, when last did we win a title in anything? It's got to be quite some time there. at least a good... Was 2012 our last title in any sport? Has it been a decade? Or have we won something sooner than that? Girls? Okay. When girls win, do we remember then? Okay. Well, of course, Kirk Hogan, the coach for both boys and girls. I mean, just a master in himself of golf. Oh, yeah, cross countries had to probably been, within the last 10 years. Now we're going to have to look. We're going to update our banner signs as you come into town as well. Now mark the number 22 up there. Ball played through once again. This one trying to be cleared out by the Cavaliers. Once again, here come Vermillion Tanagers along the near sideline. Played it up for Roofers. Again, Vermillion has looked comfortable here in this second half, adding just a goal. Halftime, it was 3-1. Now we'll see a substitution for St. Thomas More. And for that golf team as well. Look at that. You feel as another couple as I mentioned earlier. More titles coming for them. None of those guys are seniors. Few more titles coming for them. Oh, I'm going to need that later. Found a sticky note that I need later. This one, trying to find some space and not going to be able to do so. Miscommunication. Finally picked up by the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. So Vermillion will punch their ticket on to the semifinals, be taking on West Central again. That game coming up at 11 o'clock. On Saturday, Vermillion boys unofficial on when their start time will be. Leave all determines the opponent. As Cleveland holds up her hand, she'll be taking the free kick as it's played over the top. No one able to get there for Vermillion, and it's out for a goal kick. Again, don't forget, coming up, varsity action for volleyball. That's coming up after this right here on Live Ticket TV.
The C game is in the third set.
Oh, so it looks like we're going to have some late evening of volleyball action. Where was that when we needed it the other day?
We were just fine the other day. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, I was just about to say that.
I was a sweaty mess.
Cole.
That's normal.
Cole looked like he was about to fall apart.
What? Got everything rolling?
We did. Coach Zeller was just sitting there waiting for us.
Oh, yeah. Saving our spot.
Yep. We came in, threw everything down, and set everything up just in time. From Dakota Valley Soccer to Yankton Gazelles soccer, or excuse me, Yankton Gazelles volleyball. Ooh, that should have been a handball. Nothing called by the official. St. Thomas More has it. Played over the top. Chandler Cleveland way out of her box. Gonna let this one come all the way in. Pick it up. Waste some time. Again, as Vermillion is gonna punch their ticket on. Sioux Falls Christian, Dakota Valley coming up at 7 o'clock this evening. Ball played over the top. Brady's going to run on top of it. Trying to find some space. Cut off. No foul called. Correct call there by the official. And the ball is played out.
No blood, no foul.
Not quite how that one goes. Brady with a shot. Saved by Claire. At least not in soccer. That doesn't go that way.
I've been a part of some basketball games that were pretty close to that way.
You guys get a little aggressive down Mount Vernon Blankenton.
Well, it depends on the game and who we're playing, but Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it gets a little out of control.
Of course, Cole Larsh had the Friday evening off
Yeah, that was weird.
this past Friday.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with myself, so
You guys should have rode with me to Chamberlain. You had the opportunity.
I had the opportunity, but you had everything covered, you said, so.
Well, I figured you'd go home eventually and said you went to Wagner.
And then went home.
And then went home.
And then harvested all weekend.
Roovers, ball played in, saved once again by Claire. I answered phone calls, it felt like, all the way home from Chamberlain. On the phone the entire time. With weird people. Business people. It's weird.
You weren't on the phone with me, so I don't categorize into weird people, so that's good.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't call you a weird person.
I'm just bad at math.
That's okay. No one's perfect here. Yeah, that's true. You gotta be careful.
Usually I am good at math. I don't know what. I was throwing around too many numbers in my head, and I was trying to convert minutes to seconds, and
Yeah.
I just started grabbing numbers out of nowhere.
That was last Thursday. That was very, very interesting. Cole Larsh's math on how we're going to get there in time to call volleyball.
But
now,
I was right.
It worked out.
I was right.
It worked out that we were able to get there in time, but your math certainly was not. Nor was it even close. Clearance by St. Thomas More. Again, just kind of going back and forth right now. Both teams looking to make a few final substitutions here. Again, Vermillion is going to punch their ticket on to the quarterfinals. We're going to wrap up the broadcast here in just a moment so we can have plenty of time. I know we do have plenty of time, but you know what? Why not rush us? Or I should say, why not avoid the rush for us and give us some time to tear down? And you know what is going to be weird, actually? We have Thursday off. I don't know if we've had Thursday off in quite some time.
And then all next week off, except for football.
Maybe.
Well,
Maybe. No, we have what? We have volleyball on Tuesday, right?
no, I don't think so. Unless I missed the game on the schedule you sent me.
We do have
the scheduled streams. We go soccer today, volleyball today, football Friday, football Friday.
No, we I have volleyball in there that we should with Cole, we shouldn't do volleyball, but I have a feeling we might get roped into volleyball. How's that sound? Shot for St. Thomas More, saved by Cleveland.
I was looking at that and it didn't quite make sense, so I probably screwed something up on my end. But
well, it would
I
be.
don't know.
It's not our broadcast. It's part of the Live Ticket TV family. But I have a feeling that after this Friday, I feel as though we might get roped into some volleyball. In fact, they'd be looking more for you than they would be me, to be honest with you. Brady tries to get by her defender. Through ball. No one there to receive. I have to look back on my calendar. But it is that time of year, too. Of course, we're going to be losing soccer here.
Yep.
Because after Saturday, no matter what, we are officially done with soccer. Even if both teams were to make it to the state title, of course, relationship with South Dakota Public Broadcasting, Live Ticket TV is a good relationship that South Dakota Public Broadcasting gets the right to cover those games, and we do not. And it is going to be called a penalty. We'll have a penalty upcoming as the foul occurred inside the box. So a penalty kick upcoming for Megan Brady as she looks for a hat trick tonight. Looking for back-to-back hat tricks. Megan Brady, already has a hat trick. Looking for her fourth goal of the evening. Let's see if she can't get number 4. She's able to do so. And Megan Brady, 4 on the evening. Vermillion now leads it 5-1. 7 goals then in her past 2 games. And Vermillion, well, if it wasn't definite yet, it certainly is now.
Done deal.
Done deal. St. Thomas More, though, very young team, certainly going to be back next year. Should be exciting. Again, Vermillion now leading it 5-1. Coach Zeller. Ball loose. Now Sunshine coming out. Ooh, foul there by Wallen. Shot won't count. Shot won't count. Well, I was going to say, Coach Zeller, they might be a little mad at you right now that you haven't added the goal. Oh, you just happen to be in front of the board right now. I guess I blamed the wrong person. It's in the book, that's right. That's all that matters. That is very, very true. That is very, very true. 5-1. So we'll see some more substitutions.
I once had parents call me to fix the scoreboard in a JV basketball game once. I'm sitting there running. It's like a 30-point game. So I'm just trying to get through it without falling asleep, quite honestly. And I've got parents texting and calling me saying you've got the score wrong.
Oops.
I'm like, okay, first of all, it doesn't matter. Second of all, it doesn't matter.
Hey, everyone cares about JV.
Well, right. I understand if it's like a 1-point game. You have every right to be, make sure the scoreboard's right so you know the score. When it's a 30-point game,
Cole Larsh was not having it. Ball played over the top. Final few seconds coming up here as, again, Vermillion is going to punch their ticket onto the semifinals to take on West Central at 11 o'clock up in Hartford, South Dakota. St. Thomas More Cavaliers will finish out their season 5-8 overall, including the postseason. Didn't know necessarily what to expect going into this game. You knew it was going to be a close one. But I don't know if anyone really predicted this type of scoreline for the Vermillion Tanagers. Final few seconds tick away. And late sunshine to come out and continue this successful day for Vermillion as well. Tennis team finishes in 6th place for girls. Vermillion boys are your state champions. Vermillion girls in soccer action are on to the semifinals in Class 11A. Final 10 seconds. Tick away. Vermillion is going to get the victory over St. Thomas More by the final score of 5-1, including 4 goals for Megan Brady. And Vermillion gets the victory 5-1. Well, that's going to wrap up our coverage here on Live Ticket TV, at least for soccer action. We're going to step aside, and when we come back later on this evening around 7 o'clock, we'll have action for you when it comes to varsity volleyball action, as the Vermillion girls will be taking on the Del Rapids Couriers. That's coming up around 7 o'clock. Until then, for our producer Cole Larsh, I'm Heath Nimke. We'll see you here in just a little bit.